Welcome your glorious faces back to episode number 71, season 2 of the series I like to call Profit or Loss, where I buy faulty electronic items, attempt to fix them and sell them on for a profit. Now, this being season 2, our total target of the series is £2,000. Season 1 was £1,000. We currently stand at £1,230.90. You might be thinking, but that seems so far away, Joey. Trust me when I say this series can turn around like a blink of an eye. So it's time to lock in and see if we can secure some profits. What have you got for us today, Joey? I paid a grand total of £155 for this faulty ROG Ally. So the fault with this ROG Ally specifically is that the SD card doesn't work. It did say it on the box. But first of all, I obviously need to make sure that it turns on. Oh, do we have a charger? We do. Amazing. Big profitos. Oh, okay. They've just stuffed it in there because, yeah, presumably it's just rattling about. That's cool. So on the side of the box, we can see here, SD card slot not working. Windows 11 OG box. Cool. So I'll have a look and just make sure that it actually turns on first. That's going to be my first portal call. Right, let's see what we get. Does it turn on? Good so far. Bump up. I know these now like the back of my hand. I don't, but I'm getting better with them. So this is normal. Turner on. Might be flat. I have charging light. I'll just give it a couple seconds. Might be doing something. All right, brilliant. So it doesn't turn on. Why on earth do you not turn on? Let's go for that EC reset. So I'm going to hold it down. The amps are climbing ever so slightly, so it could just be a very flat battery. It's peaked at 404. Right, and then if I let go now, we should see a bit of a bump. A bump and a jump. Okay, I'm just going to see if it goes past 410 because that's the same. Do you know what? Oh, here we go. Okay, right. It just took a little bit of time. Right, hopefully this should speed up now. I'm just going to turn that over. I don't want to dox anyone. Oh, it's been set up. What's happened here? Oh, I've got to go through Windows setup. You're joking. Let's see what happens when I go ahead and plug in this SD card. Because what usually should happen is it pops up at the bottom. Nothing. Not recognized at all in the slightest. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't show up. It's just got the OS, the C drive, which is going to be the NVMe SSD, which you guys can't really see. Now you can. Okay, so we've confirmed the SD card does not work. Cool. Let's take that out. Let's go ahead and turn her off and investigate to see what the situation is. Before we go any deeper with this fix, a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, PCBWay. Are you somebody who needs custom parts quick time? PCBWay makes it ridiculously easy with their instant quote tool. Just upload your Gerber files for the PCB and you are ready to go. The customization on this website is unmatched. They don't just do PCBs either. They offer CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and even injection molding. It's all there for the taking. And if you're personally stuck for ideas on what to make or just love a good browse, check out their shared projects and online shop, packed with community builds and parts ready to order. Hit the link in the description and give it a try. Right, so the SD card slot on here, I believe, is under this fan. And what people were saying from the Reddit posts and stuff that I just read was that this is where the area can get very hot because the heatsink runs here. And we have heatsink over these VRMs, which can get really hot as well. And the card reader is right about here. So there's fuses and stuff that are right underneath this fan, which get really hot, which is what causes our issue usually, supposedly anyway. Wait a minute. These aren't the captive original screws that go in here, but it's not been opened before because, wait, what? Is this a different revision? I've never seen these silver screws on the heatsink. They've always been black screws. Yeah, I don't know if newer model or different revision or something. I can tell this has got hot. Do you know how I know this has got hot? Because anytime I've lifted up one of these fans, the putty has always been on the fan and not left on the inductors. That's how I know this one got hot. So our area of work is going to be around here. I'm going to take the board out because ultimately I'm probably going to be operating in that area and it will just be a little bit easier to see it, wouldn't it? Okay, so supposedly, here's the, where is it? SD card slot right here. Now, I don't know. I've seen a couple of images as to where I think it should be, but we've got a couple of diodes just in between the headphone jack and the SD card reader. But if I follow the SD card reader, surely, unless it's on the other side, maybe it's on the other side, all the fuse stuff. Logically, that would make sense, right? Where's the, is it this area? Now, I've seen what the fuses sort of look like. Where are they? That's the question. Are they under this tape? Well, if the area is getting hot, then surely it's going to be on the other side that's where we have our issues, right? What about under this bit of putty? Ah, you're hiding right here. These, I think, are the fuses I've seen. These are the fuses I've seen right there. Okay, let's measure the fuses and just see if they are open or not. First things first. Okay, continuity mode on the multimeter itself. Let's just make sure that we get, so we've got two fuses here, right? All right, so that one's 160. So that fuse is bust. Unless it's meant to... Loki was saying something about them being a little bit higher. Wait there. I wonder if it operates at... No, surely it can't do, right? This one's okay. This QZ1 surely has to be our issue. This QZ1 surely... Or PN, QZPN, whatever that says. So what do we measure? 80 ohms. So if I get a donor board, right? Let me get a donor board and just see what the situation is. This is a donor air. And we're going to have the exact same fuse. Just there. Oh, I mean, it has different markings on it. So look, yeah, we have a continuous path. So on both of them. So both of these fuses are meant to have a continuous path. And it'll be interesting to see where that trace goes. Both of these traces, actually. So, I mean, me personally, I'll just go ahead and replace them, no? Because I know that there was a lot of people saying, but Joey, what caused the fuse to go bang? Well, it's the heat, isn't it? From the VRMs on the other side. And that happens with all of them. So I guess ultimately the answer is that this would just happen again if I don't replace them with good quality or higher amp draw fuses, right? It's just going to happen again. But this fuse is open. It's got 80 ohms worth of resistance. I don't know if it's anything to do with this chip. I'm assuming this chip controls all of the data and power for... I mean, that is what? That is still 2 ohms, 1.7. That kind of 1.6 ohms. Whereas this one is a dead zero. This one here is a dead zero. So I don't know whether to replace it or not. Look, 0.2. And this one is also 0.2. But this one does have a little bit of resistance going through it. So I don't know if this one is any good, even though it's low continuity, low resistance. So what's a PTC fuse? And because they look different as well, I wonder if one of them isn't a more updated version. I'm trying to look online, man. I can't find anything online about the actual fix. On a resetting fuse, which is what I'm assuming, I don't know if both of them are resetting fuses or whether just one of them are. The higher temp means the lower the fuse can take before... Wait, the higher the temp means the lower the fuse can take before tripping. It's about 50% current at 60 degrees Celsius. So current fuses... 0.75 amps hold, 1.5 amp trip. However, normal operation of the SD card can use 0.8 amp before controller will throttle. Normal operation, we can assume, which is what I would expect if there was an actual problem. Heat it up, cool it down, see if it resets to 0 ohms. Oh, wait. So are you guys saying that maybe we don't even need to replace the fuse, and what we actually need to do is just warm up the fuse to make it exceed the temperature, and then it should just reset on its own. Wait, so just applying heat to this will reset it. All right. Well, let's test that theory. And I don't also know what temperature to operate at. So obviously Loki said about certain temperatures. So I don't know if he was hinting about using a temperature specifically like that. So I don't know if just like 100 degrees will sort it. 60 degrees Celsius. Wait a minute. So you're saying that it gets to a certain temperature. That temperature then resets the fuses. So what? Just like heat it with 180? 200 degrees Celsius. So I'll go 200 degrees Celsius. I'll use my small nozzle to direct the heat on the fuses themselves. So this should be a good visual representation of how it works. So just to confirm, on the fuses right now, on this one, we get 80 ohms. On this one, we get 1.4. Let's see if we can get them as close to 0 as possible. 200 degrees Celsius, 99% airflow. I don't know how long I have to go for either. Now, like I said, the phone might take a little bit of a beating here. But I'm pointing the air away from the foam anyway, so it looks to be okay. Look. Okay, so let's see how we've got on there. So that was 200 degrees Celsius. Let's monitor this one. Open at the moment. This one. 5. Maybe this fuse doesn't do the same. Here we go. So it's dropping. Is it going to go below 80 ohms? This is really stressful. Is it going to go below 80 ohms to 0? Or is it still going to be around 80 ohms? Here we go. 482, 450. 100 is taking way too long. Let me just come off of it. Try and cool it down. Less. Still going. 61, 60. So that's lower than the 80 it was. I don't know how long this should take to actually get down. That's another thing. I don't know how long this will take to get down to 0. I don't know if it's an instant thing or whether it should take as long as what it currently is doing. I have no idea. My first time doing one of these. Because it is still slowly coming down. Don't put current through it with the ohm meter whilst it's resetting. That's what causes them to stick openish. Gotcha. 54 and still going down. Hold on, idea. I'm gonna see with this one. I'm gonna go 300 degrees here. This is 0. This fuse right here is 0. This is 300 degrees Celsius. This is on a donor board. Let's see what happens now. I'm not gonna hold the multimeter probes on. I'm just gonna measure now. Wow, that's straight away. Oh, okay. So I just didn't, my heat wasn't enough, basically. That's all right. We'll go 400 degrees Celsius. We'll double it. That foam, I feel sorry for that foam. There we go. Okay, I saw the solder molten then as well. So I think that was probably hot enough. Let's put this thing here. Absorb some of the heat. Wow, it's hot even through that. Not that glove. Let's see. Has this reset the fuse? Oh my gosh. Doing that has reset the fuse. Let's go. So theoretically, this SD card reader should now work. I want to say that the fuse isn't the issue, but the fuse is the issue because clearly it doesn't do what it's intended to do. It doesn't completely break the component because the component just needs extra heat to put it back to working. How weird is that? I never had something like that on a repair, ever. Now, here I have another question, right? For the thermal pasta, this stuff likes to use PTC, PWM, PFA, like what's it called? Now, because I'm at a situation where I don't have any of that, do I remove what I have here or do I just put it back on and hope for the best? It gets hot enough to lower the trip current, but not enough to reset it. PTM, that's the one. Bad positioning, close to a major heat source, yeah. You don't have any thermal paste. I have thermal paste, I don't have PTM. This stuff is PTM, and PTM, from my understanding, is when it heats, it goes soft and gooey. When it's like this, obviously it's not. Squeeze it back on the die. But should I just take it some from the edges and put it here? What is the what's the benefit of that fuse being thermal? You know, why not just put a normal fuse that if it goes past a certain temperature, if it, you know, takes too much current, it goes pop. Like, what is the benefit of having it thermally? Is it cheaper? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is the actual benefit of having a fuse like that instead of just having a normal fuse like every other device? No? Bad SD card, you want to cut the power, but you want to use other SD cards still. Oh, I see. So a bad SD card then would technically blow the fuse. Thing is, right, the user doesn't know it's a bad SD card, right? The user would just then assume that the ROG is broken, or they tried that SD card in their computer and was like, oh, it's the SD card itself. Let me try a different one. Oh, that kind of makes sense. It's kind of smart. It's kind of smart that that's why they did it. I kind of feel sorry for them then, because actually they tried to make it better. Like that, there is a reason for that being there, you know, like it was like a user first sort of thing to think of. So actually, I feel quite sorry for them. The intention was there, right? JFX says, by the way, there are 2 fuses for different memory card classes, UHS. Oh, okay. The 2 fuses you were heating for different speed cards. Oh, I see. Oh, so you got 1.8 volt and 3.3. So the one that the one that was faulty on this board was it the 1.8 or the 3.3? I'm going to guess it was the 1.8. So those 2 fuses that were on the board were different. Oh, it was 3.3. So the one on the left was the 3.3. The one on the right was the 1.8. So this is susceptible to happening again, just with a different SD card, right? So it could just do that again. I'm going to have to plug it in. Right, let's go. Let's test it. The moment we've all been waiting for. Here we go. Moment of truth. Is it going to work? 3, 2, 1. Yes! Oh, my heart froze for a minute. Okay, good. Open. There we go. She's working. Yes, there's some like media gallery, and it's from a Nintendo Switch, so there's like some little bits and bobs in there. Let's go. I need to go through and do absolutely everything to this though, which, as you guys know, just takes the longest amount of time. Well, that was a pretty nice and simple one. Just to let you know, I have finished all of the updating, tested everything, and we are good to go. Fun fact as well, I sold that one on the live stream. So I'm going to go over to Sally's Spectacular Spreadsheet now, and also I have some updates from previous sales for the ROG Allies. And let me tell you, this might escalate very, very quickly. Okay, so obviously this being episode number 71, I've added this ROG Ally for 155 as well. So these 3 ROG Allies from episode 70 have sold. They're gone. That's it. I've also sold this one, like I said, on stream. So all of them are gone. And I have confirmed prices of exactly where we stand. Just a reminder, we are at £1,230.90 here. First one without a charger. Let's see. 273.64. Nets us a total profit of £118.64, which is pretty much on the nose. The next 2 had a charger, and they sold for the exact same price after all of the eBay fees. £291.89. Here we go. £136.89 for both of these bad boys. So in episode number 70, we actually made a confirmed profit of £392.42. However, we've also sold this one. So, Joey, how much did you sell this one for? I sold it privately on the stream for £300 with a charger, £145 profit. In this episode so far, and last episode, we've made £537.42. Now, I'm no mathematician, but surely that means we've got to be close to achieving our total profit for season 2, profit or loss, right? £1,768.42. We are £231.58 off hitting our target. Just like that, look how quickly things can turn around. We had the blunder with the PS5 and all sorts of bits and bobs, and now we're absolutely cooking. Should we move on to our next item? So just to confirm, I paid £155 for this faulty ROG Ally, and supposedly the fault on this one is not booting, which could be anything. I don't know if the people that I buy from, if they do try different NVMe's to see if they can boot on a clean Windows image, but that's something that I'm going to try first, of course. But yeah, the condition of this, again, just exceptional. Very, very nice. Back. Looks like we might have had some sort of warranty sticker down here. So let's go ahead and try and turn this bad boy on. They've been sat around for a while, so the battery might just be a bit deaded. Here we go. All right, boots up to 4. Okay, so this is 960. 960, but no power on just yet. I'll leave it a minute or two. I wonder if by no boot they meant it just doesn't turn on. It just says faulty, not booting. I wonder if that's what they meant by this. It just doesn't turn on. 900 milliamps is kind of weird, you know, because usually that's like a in-between of like a charging of 400 to 500 milliamps and a boot, which is, you know, it exceeds. I mean, 800 to 900 should be device on, battery not charging. But what you will usually see from like a typically good battery that's taken a charge and the ROG Ally's on is anywhere from like 2.1 amps and up. So this 900 to, oh, here we go. Okay, maybe it was just dead battery. Oh, I got a vibration, but there's nothing on the screen. And we don't have any LEDs on the thumbsticks. This to me looks like the device is on. Yeah, 3.1 amps, this is on. And what's weird is that it's not a screen issue, because if it was a screen issue, we'd still have like the LEDs and stuff, but we don't have that. And what's also weird is that it bumped all the way up to 3.1 and now it's down at 1.4, but that just could be because it's booted. If I press a button, do we get any response? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. This has been taken apart before or dropped or something. Okay, we might have an interesting one. This button is not buttoning. So that's like pushed in. Are these buttons okay? These buttons seem fine. Those seem okay. And those seem okay. Let me press the power button, see what happens. Yeah, it's like locking it or something. Can you see the change in the app drawer? Watch this. Oh, wait a minute. I might have put it to sleep. I think I've turned it off. Let me try and turn it back on just to see. Yeah, and now it's turned on. I can feel the vibration when it turns on. And you can see here, evidently, it does turn on. But when I'm pushing that power button, it turns off. But I'm only tapping the power button. There we go. I pushed it and look, it's off now again. So I'm going to actually take this apart first. It's definitely booting. I definitely know that it's booting. But I don't know why it's not displaying on the screw. Oh, we're missing screws as well. Okay, I've not had one that's like interesting like this yet. So I'm actually quite happy. Usually they're pretty factory fresh. So I'm looking forward to this. I haven't tried external display because I'm confident enough that it's working. I feel like I don't need to try external display. Okay, right. Let's take a look at this then. My first sort of intuition here, yeah, it's definitely been opened. We're missing a couple of screws from here and here. Oh, they're not plugged in. Oh, then neither of them are plugged in. Okay, so neither of the boards, the button boards, have been plugged in, which is why we don't get LEDs, because I'm pretty sure it's literally the LED ribbon cables that are missing. So let me show you as an example. God, what's wrong with this one if somebody's been in and absolutely mess this one up. As an example, I've just plugged one of them in, okay? If I just quickly go ahead and put the back on, I wonder if I get LED on one of them now, because that's what was throwing me off. But if they're both unplugged, that would make complete and utter bread and butter sense, wouldn't it? So let's just see what happens here. I don't know which one. I think it was this one that I put the LED cable in. So this one should technically light up. There we go. See? So now I just know that there is no screen working. So I'm instantly going to go and look at the screen connector. That's where I'm going to go right now. Just in case, because it's been opened before, we need to potentially look at technician mistakes and dive into the realms of that, which is, let's just say, interesting. I wonder if they kept them unplugged for a reason. It's very early signs to call somebody's work sloppy, right? But what I'm seeing is a lot of missing screws right now. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's not the best start, is what I will say. Okay, so the LED cable is here. We are missing a screw in the motherboard. So that would... Oh, the screen's not even plugged in. The cable's not even plugged in. What's going on? Oh gosh, are we going to have our first like faulty APU or something with this one? The speaker's not plugged in either. I'm very confused. This one's booting. So why would have somebody taken all of this apart and not put it back together correctly? There's going to need some thorough testing, man, because it might be a horrendous issue like a graphics card issue or something like that, you know? CPU does definitely not feel like it's been screwed down very well. I don't think this is going to be an easy fix, but it's kind of deserved because some of the fixes that I've had have been so easy. Oh, they've put thermal paste instead of using the other stuff. So somebody's definitely taken this apart for, I mean, I don't know why they would have, because if it's booting. So look, not even the antenna cables are connected. I don't know whether to just put it back together with everything connected properly and see if it works. I think that is my first point of call, to be fair. We are missing one screw, so I'll just go ahead and replace that screw because I've got a plethora of these screws anyway. All right, let's just plug everything back in. We're also missing a screw down here as well. I wonder if they've tried to fix something like the SD card slot not working and they messed something up and therefore they put it back together and this is what's happened. Screen's plugged in. Ah, the buttons. Let's just clean off this thermal pasta, and I need to clean the thermal pasta off the heatsink as well. Now, this isn't, like I said, the TPM stuff, whatever it's called. This is quite literally normal thermal paste that they've previously replaced. I'll be so interested to see if this actually works, you know. All right, are we ready? Let's see what happens. Does this power on? And does it portray normalness? I guess is probably what I'll say. Okay, that's normal. That's also normal. Is it going to turn on automatically? Or am I going to have to force it on? Looks like I'm going to have to force it on, which is fine. Oh, I have taken the back off, so the light sensor would have reset it. So let's turn it on. Hey, okay, we have display. Yes, let's go. And we have the ring lights as well. So both of the LED ring lights work. We have the ROG logo as well, which is also really good. Now, it has had all of its brains ripped out and put back together. So I'm understanding that it might take a while to actually boot. Okay, so we booted straight into BIOS. Okay, it's Z1 Extreme, which we kind of know of. I need to look at CPU temps as well to make sure we're all good there, because it had the thermal paste that I've put. We're on 47 degrees, which seems to be okay. It will come down, I imagine. So I'm going to go into the system diagnostics and just quickly do a full test. Oh, you can't do a full test. I'm assuming then that it needs an actual BIOS update. Maybe then we just go ahead and do a cloud recovery, or we could just test everything individually, right? So let's check the power. Turn this down so you can actually see what's going on. So this is the power. Passed. The battery's all good, supposedly anyway. I'm pretty sure this is like a soft test, you know. The SSD, quick test, 30 minutes or more. Well, that was quick. Passed. Okay. Fans. Let's just test the memory quick. All right. So we can just run. I mean, everything seems to be okay diagnostic wise. So what I'll do is I'll run a cloud recovery and see what's going on. It's like a... Oh, wait a minute. What did that say? Wait a minute. Hold on. To protect your PC. Oh, secure boot. Ah. Secure boot. Secure boot? Secure boot was disabled on this device. That's strange. Maybe they've tried. Maybe the person who had this has tried to do something and just completely messed up. Oh, I need to restart, I think, as well. Save and exit. Oh, wait a minute. Go to advanced settings, security, secure boot control. Wait there, security. I'm just going to reset BIOS. I'm just going to reset it. How do I reset? Save and exit, restore defaults. Yeah, restore defaults. I'm just going to do that because it keeps telling me to change a bunch of settings. So I'm just going to reset that completely. To protect your computer security, enable secure boot by going to advanced settings, security, secure boot control. I've done that. I've just reset it. I just enabled that. Save and exit. You guys have seen me do this now, right? So I've done secure boot, right? I've saved secure boot. Okay. You guys have just seen that. Cloud recovery. Okay. So we're going to go Asus ROG Ally BIOS, and I believe there's only one for all of the ROG Allies. Yeah, for the RC71L BIOS flash utility. Okay, so here I have the file. Here we go. Let's try that. Okay, we have a light. That's really cool. Exit, and we'll just go for a restart real quick. Yep, discard and exit. Cool. Yes! Okay, so this one. Do you want to use this file? Now, I don't need to get a USB-C. Remember, you're joking. Please plug in the AC. How? I have got a dock. It's a horrendous dock for a Nintendo Switch. But do you know what, right? It's going to work. Have we beaten the system? Yes, it reads it. System, restart and update. BIOS will automatically after 3 seconds. Cool. Let's go. Has this BIOS update allowed us to now at least boot or do the Asus cloud recovery? Okay, so it has reset to the privacy notice, which is what I had before, by the way. So this isn't like a 100% it's going to work, but it's further than... No, look, same thing. What? So even after a fresh BIOS, to protect your computer security, enable secure boot by going to advanced security. Maybe this is why it's been taken apart. Maybe somebody tried to change like the RAM on this, you know? Yesterday, I decided to upgrade the SSD, so I took out the original and installed a new 2 terabyte one. Now I'm trying to enable the secure boot so that I can use Asus Cloud Recovery to reinstall Windows. However, I found out no matter how many times I enable secure boot, it always shows as disabled. I saw some posts say I can re-enable it by putting the old SSD back and enable there, but I have already used the original SSD somewhere else and formatted it. Anyone else know what options I have? I was able to resolve it by enabling secure boot in BIOS and selecting save exit. As soon as the device reboots, hold the volume plus key and re-enter BIOS. It may take a few tries, but this setting will stick once you get the timing right. Thank you for this comment. It worked for me as well. I just want to reiterate, this is the solution. I ran into the same issue tonight and dug through tons of threads and videos. Once I saw this comment, I given up, decided to try it one more try. Lo and behold, it worked. Update your BIOS, switch SSD, enable secure boot, save and exit, and hold the volume up when rebooting. Okay. Forums coming in clutch, chat? Yes or no? Let's see. Holding down plus. Security. Secure boot. Disabled. They lied. Enabled. Enabled. And then if I go off and on. Okay, here we go. Let's try again. I'll keep pressing it. Might be a timing thing, perhaps. I'm gonna now just press it instead of holding. But it says please select boot device and then press OK. Advanced security, secure boot, enabled. No shot has that worked. Oh, it worked. So I was doing that. There's no way that this was faulty because of that. What, did somebody like take it apart and absolutely rinse it because of that situation? That can't be it, right? That can't be it. There's no way. Honestly, man, these ROG Allies, I swear, are just gold mines. Again, we need to make sure that I give this a full test. I feel like I've got the skip. Why has it gone back to BIOS? I wonder if the SSD is faulty because it doesn't recognize the actual SSD, the NVMe SSD. But it might not be recognizing it because it doesn't have a boot image on it. Well, I'll tell you what, right? I've got one that has the BitLocker on, right? So I can at least just test that to see if it recognizes the boot device. It's not popping up on my drive, and I've got the power plugged in, so it should be fine. So let me go disk management. I won't need to format it, will I? Maybe that's why it's just not showing. Or should I just keep it NTFS? It doesn't really matter necessarily, does it? Okay, so look, it does boot. The issue is just installing. I'm actually going to go with... Oh, it's in here. Okay, so this one is for this device. So I'm just going to leave that here. No, technically this one should work, man. If it's recognizing Windows, we've been able to format it. It should work. Okay, so I've now, after formatting the NVMe SSD just in Windows, that's the only other thing that I've done. We've managed to download the cloud recovery image, and now it seems to be progressing on the NVMe itself. So this is really, really good news. I don't know if that's fixed it, and it's the same SSD that was originally in the console. So this is going to be interesting. This is just going through all the settings and the drivers and everything like that. I'm going to mark this as fixed for the time being. Well, it is working. I put it back together. I tested everything. SD card reader, played games, and no issues. And I've gone for the reset. It's reset perfectly fine with no issues there either. So I think this one is also good to go. Now, I'll give a warranty with this as well, just for a month, because I'm a little bit cautious about it. So if anybody does develop any issues, they can return it and get their money back. But it's just strange to me how it was taken apart to the length that it was, and all I've done is added a couple of screws, sorted the secure boot issue out, and it's all good. So let's head on over to Sally's Spectacular spreadsheet to see what the situation is. So 2 ROG Allies for this episode that I've managed to get up and running. I'm going to put this one for $280 because I don't have a charger for it. So if I managed to sell for, let's say, $280 on eBay, we're looking at, again, another 120. Oh wait, I didn't mean to do that. If I just go estimated sell price, we're looking at another £100 total profit, which would be amazing. And then obviously we'll come back to this area once it's actually sold. Then I'll be able to update this, and we are getting dangerously close. This is pretty much it now. I feel like we're on the last run of it, you know. And I've got a few more ROG Allies to sort through, so we're getting very close now. All my affiliation links for my tools and equipment will be linked down below in the description. If you enjoyed this specific video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and as always, I shall see you in the next one. Peace.